What's going on, everybody? What up, fam? Welcome to Unfiltered Tarot Live. I'm in the chat. I just heard it go off behind me. Super stoked to have you guys here. Super stoked to hang out. We're going to pull cards for all 12 signs. We're coming off a new moon in Taurus. This is definitely setting the stage for our values and what we stand for and how we're going to ground and what's bringing us the abundance in life. And it's sextile Neptune. So this is like Spirit is coming in trying to give us the best reality we can possibly have. Got to be in our truth. North Node Gemini. It's so important. So stand confident, stand strong in your truth, channel that divine, and let's see where it takes us. I have all 12 signs in this little cup here. So I'm going to be pulling randomly. Got all the decks out. I'm excited to be here with you. Excited to do this show. Shout out Frederico and Jolene and Mark for being in the chat early. Super stoked to have you here, fam. And to anybody else, if you're not a member, please do consider for daily horoscopes joining www.fixedairmoon.com/members. There'll be a link somewhere along the line, but if not, free show. Super happy to hang out and connect. Let's do it. Let's jump right in. Let's see what the first sign is. We got Taurus fitting. New moon in Taurus, and we get Taurus first sign here. So I got to get set up a little bit. One-man production crew here. All right. Before we get going with Taurus, anybody else join up? All right. Hey, there's only a couple of us in here right now, but so it goes. So let's jump in. We're going to do some Taurus. I'm going to use my Botticelli deck for the Tauruses. Moo. Happy birthday, Taurus. You're closing your birthday. It's your last full birthday week. Next week starts Gemini season, so live it up, Taurus. Talk about a new moon, too, in your first house here. This is with a sextile to Neptune in your 11th. This is really like the ultimate spiritual connection that you're bringing into your reality and truly finding yourself and finding that confidence and that value. Pretty awesome. So, see what the cards have to say for you. Starting off the reading with the 6th house. Ooh. So Taurus, we're talking about that routine, that health, that body, your reality. What's going on with the reality for the Tauruses? Illuminating the Ace of Cups and reflecting the 5 of Coins. Well, I think, you're emotionally ready for a new start here, especially with a new moon like this one that's happening in your first house. I mean, we got Mars too in your 3rd house making a sextile over to Uranus in your 1st house and then squaring over to Chiron in your 12th. Like, this is definitely the start of something new. Like, you need to take action for it. And I think it definitely has to do with the emotions. So where this new start beginning, and how are you going to illuminate it? It starts by grounding it. It starts by maybe looking at what makes you feel good, maybe the body, the health. And I think when it comes to feelings too, getting that 5 of Coins reversed, it's almost like you've been feeling a little beat down and broken. And I think that this is maybe this is the new moon energy that takes you out of that. It's like you're ready to start something new. You're ready to switch something up. Like if you weren't getting the routine that you wanted previously, well, welcome to the new story, the new reality. You want it, connect to it. And I think that the more you believe, the more you'll see it. So I think this is great because that 5 of Coins reverse tells me that inward, your understanding of this right now, of where you're at is all about like coming out of any sort of negativity or any sort of, place of feeling like a victim, which I'll be honest, Mars square Chiron is some victim sort of energy. So we're all kind of dealing with that right now, where we got to find our true confidence and our true spiritual power. What is going on with the mind for you? The Hermit. I guess the mind is definitely trying to contemplate and make sure it has everything sort of understood. You know, I said that earlier, but maybe you're really taking some time to quiet the mind and look within, or just quiet yourself from the outside noise. And maybe that just quieting the mind from the outside noise will give you all the wisdom you're looking for right now. As you are coming into this like really new beginning. So there's this new beginning, and maybe you don't want to, maybe it's not time to just come out and share it with everybody, but I think you eventually do get that wisdom, and you got to really share it. So it just looks like this is a very confident start to where things are going for you, Taurus. What's Venus looking like? What's the feel good energy? Another 5. You got the 5 of Swords reversed. So that's good. These 5s are kind of rough cards in the minor arcana, and you're getting them reversed. So I just think you're definitely coming out of like a lot of conflict, whether it's physical conflict or feeling like you didn't have enough money. Like, I think this is where you start to see that you do have it all. We got Jupiter coming into Pisces. Like, Jupiter's coming into your 11th house. That's big too. I think that's going to show you so many things to connect to. And, right when Jupiter comes in and then the sun comes into Gemini, it's going to come into your 2nd house and square at 0 degrees that Jupiter. So it's almost like you're finding out, I think, really where the new story's starting, and maybe what parts of your reality, whether it's job or sort of the mundane things, are going to actually feel the best. And it's by ditching conflict, ditching any sort of feeling of self-doubt or inner conflict with yourself. I think you're going in to find your truth, to find your wisdom, and it's all about coming out and really knowing your value so you can connect to that and make the best connections possible right now. What's Mars saying? Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. So, I guess, when it comes to action, it could be a little lost. I think you have this sort of inner standing taken care of, but that Mars square Chiron's interesting in, the just in our transits right now. And you got to take a risk sometimes, I think, if you want the new story to come to fruition, if you want the emotional beginnings or the new connections that are, you might be looking for. Jupiter in the 11th definitely wants to connect to people. It wants to go out and hang out with friends. You gotta maybe take a risk to go out there. If you're too worried about going out because of COVID or hanging out with people, like, take a risk and go connect and stop putting yourself in a feeling like you can't have the best. That kind of comes up too. Like, how are you looking at reality right now? Are you looking at it as you can start fresh and like go experience the best right now? New moon, your 1st house, like, you define your reality. And I think that if you're feeling stuck, take a risk, because if you spin that wheel and you just go out and enjoy yourself and go for the best and go define the reality you want to have, like, you could hit jackpot, and maybe jackpot with the ultimate connections to anybody, maybe new groups, new innovation. Also, Jupiter coming to your 11th house really reminds me of like really finding your individuated wisdom and connecting to that fully. And interesting too, you get Mercury going to come into shadow this week, and then next week square Neptune. So there can definitely be some interesting fog coming. Take a risk. Don't start overthinking things already or overanalyzing. That 6th house can definitely analyze reality or nitpick it to death. If you want something new, you got to come out of any sort of doubt, any sort of self-conflict. Roll the dice for what you can have and what you can define and what you can manifest. What's the abundance looking like? The Empress, sorry. Dang, that's a great card to get right here. Like, this is the time, Taurus. This is where, you really do come into the full embodiment of your beauty, of how you can nurture, love yourself, nurture the people around you. I think, find a lot of really beautiful connections. And I think it really does start within. And I think you're already at a place where emotionally you're coming out of this, any sort of self-doubt or pity, and even mentally too, like trying to have everything figured out. Stop that. This is where you purify by just loving yourself, by just knowing that you're worth it. And just having that in the back here is like going to give you the confidence to just spin the wheel for something amazing in your life. It's going to bring you a better physical world. And some karma. Here's some Saturn. King of Swords reversed. Jeez. What is stopping you from just really knowing, like fully knowing that you can have the reality you want? There's just something, it's probably from a past life. It's probably from some sort of like guilt that you don't even, maybe you know about in this life, maybe you don't, but geez, I think it's really, that's the block, is you feeling like you have to know everything. You don't have to know everything. You just have to trust. You just have to love yourself and be ready for something new. And if you're ready for something new, your whole reality can shift right now. Don't block yourself by thinking you have to have every single thing figured out. I don't think anybody has any idea what is down the pipeline. Like, there's too much unforeseen energy. Even just in the astrology, with Saturn and Uranus going to square off 2 more times, like, good luck seeing around that corner. That's got the most unpredictable energy there could possibly be. Don't worry so much about the future, because that's just going to keep you out of the now. And the now, the gift is loving yourself, and the gift is grounding and really finding what's going to bring you the ultimate fulfillment and leave your cup overflowing. You got Neptune, Leo, 10th house. Yeah, you need to surrender to your heart and shine in that 100% so that you can reach the goals. And it's not an illusion that you can have the reality you want, but you got to listen to your heart and you got to listen to your intuition. Like, Neptune's right there making this sextile, and sextile today, the sun, for that new moon. I mean, this is literally like the ultimate connections are finding you right now, and they're going to help you find the legacy. But you might have to start something new that you actually feel connected to, that you actually feel like you love. So if you don't love it, don't try and convince yourself that it's your legacy or your destiny, because that ain't it. Start over with something that leaves you full, 100%. All right, we're starting. This is it. It's go time. Not a bad reading, Taurus. Not a bad reading at all. What's up? Do we have any more people up in here? Hey, Surya. Thank you for joining. Glad I put that out on Twitter so I can get some... Hope I said your name right, too. All right. Let's see who's next. Aquarius. Speaking of one-man production and Aquarius stuff, I got this bad boy. Ooh, for sure. This is like real top-tier quality podcast microphone that I hopefully can get set up tomorrow. Not in time for this show, but that's all right. Some electronics for the Aquariuses, for that sort of energy. All right, Aquarius. Aquarius have a lot in their 4th house right now, and the new moon in their 4th house. Aquariuses are being forced to deal with their emotions, which, as an Aquarius moon, I can tell you, isn't necessarily what we enjoy doing. We'd rather kind of peace out and figure things out on our own time in our own spaceship, but right now we gotta deal with that. We gotta make sure that we're feeling grounded and secure within ourselves. So as an Aquarius moon, I can definitely tell you that's true. Aquarius, you start off with a void off course moon. So what's missing right now? Is it emotions? Is it your own emotional security and how you're sort of grounding and finding comfort within yourself? This is not a time to look outside of yourself. Aquarius, if you're missing on something, I think you really got to come back to yourself. And I love that there's a 52 here, because it does make a 7. So it's like you really got to come in and find your divine security and trust that, and stop thinking you're missing. If you're missing right now, it's because you're running from something. It's the golden tarot for the Aquariuses. What are we missing on Aquas? Like Aquarius, I mean, honestly, next week, when we come into Gemini season, you're going to have so much in that 5th house. Like, you need to get your security right now. You need to get your emotions right and how you're feeling, because you're about to come into one of the, like, best 5th house transits we got going, like, of anybody. And you're going to have eclipses in there. Like, this is a time for you to have the courage to just be in your truth and be grounded and planted and come back from the spaceship. All right, what do we got? What are you illuminating? The 9 of Swords. What's the reflection? The Tower card reversed. Oh my gosh. Aquarius, what is keeping you up at night? Is it seriously like that you're thinking about feeling your emotions? Is that what's going on here? And you're just like, oh, this Tower reversed? Like you're too scared to change something in your life and maybe feel something? You're missing out on feeling right now. You need to feel, one, for yourself, and you know what? Especially for yourself. Like, people can't feel for you all the time. And if you need to express your emotions, you need to express them. If you're feeling like, gosh, I feel like your guides, this dog is sitting here just barking at you. I feel like your guides are like, yo, pay attention to your emotions and get out of your head. Get out of your head, Aquarius. You have to seriously hop into your feelings here, because that's what's keeping you away from the ultimate in life. And the best manifestation is not feeling like you can just feel. Oh my God, it's not good. There's a lot of anxiety, and it's because you need to topple the Tower over and get into what's going to bring you the security that you're looking for. And you know what? The security is not without you. It's within you. So that's the biggest thing, is stop looking for something to connect to. Disconnect from all that bullshit and connect to your inner world right now. That's where the ultimate truth is at. Temperance for our Mercury here. So your mind, I think, gosh, your mind's looking for the most beautiful sort of harmonious energy right now. And maybe you do need to be a little patient. Maybe you're trying to overthink and look too far into the future. Like Aquarius can definitely be doing that. So maybe part of this is like your mind actually wants you to slow down and feel some things. But at the same time, you're just like, I need to take care of this. I need to conquer this and do all this, when you're in this huge 4th house transit with the new moon in your 4th. Like, it's not so much about the career right now. It's about finding yourself. So slow down and see the beauty and realize it and understand it, so that you can express your feelings and stop missing on those. Venus, the King of Coins. Venus is in that 5th house for you right now. So this is definitely like you stepping into bringing in the ultimate in life, the full satisfaction of what's going to bring you the best, Aquarius. If you don't feel it and you're trying to manifest, you're not going to get what you're looking for. You have to put the intention out there and feel it so that you can bring it in. And you want it to feel good. That's, Venus in the 5th house, and then Venus coming up with this King of Coins. Like, if you feel it and you believe in it, you're going to manifest everything that you're looking for. But you're just missing the feeling part. You're like right there. And then, this is where you're going to feel it. Some Aquarius is going to hear this and be like, you're right. I need to slow down and feel things. And they're going to feel things. And all of a sudden, they're going to come into one of the most magical weeks ever next week. And Jupiter, honestly, coming into your 2nd house tomorrow is literally going to manifest you so much. Like, Aquariuses are so lucky. They're getting a solar eclipse in their 5th house with Jupiter in their 2nd. Like, Aquarius is about to get the ultimate payday from the heart. And it's going to feel so good. And I think that even with relationships, like, relationships are going to manifest, and it's going to be like actual true love. But only if you're feeling. If you're not feeling and you're just missing out on that, good luck. So, gosh, Aquarius, you have so much good stuff coming, but you have to change something within your emotions. Stop. Get out of your head. Jeez, what's Mars say? Four of Cups. Don't turn down the gifts. Don't turn down the gifts because you don't want to feel. God's going to bring you so many gifts. The universe has your back right now, Aquarius. That's really what this comes down to. And like, if you just act on knowing that the abundance and what you want and all the manifestations are going to come true, and make the changes within yourself to get those, and stop looking outside. Stop pointing the finger outside. Like, it's nobody else but you right now. And that's what this fourth house new moon's all about. It's like you realizing that it's nothing outside of you that's keeping you from anything that you want. And there's extreme gifts coming. And it's like Source is about to literally deliver one on a platter for you. And you could just be like, no, I don't want to, because I'm not ready to feel my emotions and like truly manifest from within. What's the abundance? What's Jupiter looking like? The Magician reversed. You're feeling like you lost your magic. I mean, Saturn and Jupiter in your first house, that's a lot. And then your ruling planet, both your ruling planets, Uranus and Saturn in square. Like, I get it. Like, there's an identity, crisis going on here. But this is showing you how to really be a true Aquarian, how to really find your individuality, how to really find who you are, and how to really find your magic. And the gift is in you finding that magic. And you know what? This Magician, like, literally can't manifest without the cups. He needs the wands. He needs the cups. He needs the coins. He needs all of it. It all comes together to alchemize. And that's what you need to remember is, like, you can't just do it with your wands. You can't just do it with your swords. Especially your swords. You got to use the cups too. You got to feel. And you know what? It's pointing to that Mars card, like taking action for how you're feeling and to kind of pick your head up and see that the magic is right in front of your face. What's Saturn saying? Ace of Swords. How funny. Saturn's saying that you need to pierce into a new direction. And it's not like you're losing your intellect. Like, you're always going to be smart and, intelligent. You're fixed air. You can still feel your emotions and be able to, come across and be objective. Like, and that's one thing too, is like, yes, we do need to get out of our emotions for a little bit at times, but that's not the time for you right now. So I would say, you need to be, put up boundaries within yourself when it comes to how heady you are. Like, yes, if you need to disconnect and like objectify something to really make sense of it, do it. But don't just constantly put up the blocks or restrict yourself from the emotion. That's not going to give you the magic. And you're just going to keep feeling like you're missing. And that's the overall read here for you, Aquarius, is the magic is inside of you. And if you don't feel it, you're not going to be able to manifest it, but you have amazing gifts coming. God, this was a good reading too, and it was so spot on with the astrology. What do these dice say? We got Mars, 11th house, Scorpio. Woo! Yeah, you need to channel that intensity to be true and unique and authentic to you and to connect to like-minded energy, and stop holding yourself back from true emotional connections too. Like the truest of the true, the deep emotional connections in life that are going to transform your life. There's some sexual energy in there too. I'll be honest, like, how are you feeling truly when it comes to that part of your life? Is it good? Do you need to feel more? Would it make it better if you actually felt things instead of just thought about it? This is about the ultimate inner connection, and you need to bring that intensity to your emotions, to your friends, to your groups, and you can't disconnect all the time from emotions. Sometimes you have to connect, and that's what it's all about: connection and disconnection. It's both. So why not penetrate into the deepest emotional connections in life that are both mentally stimulating and emotionally stimulating? Woo! I love doing this show. It's so much fun. I guess it's fun. Let's see who's next. Cancer. Oh, crabbies. Where are my crabbies at? There they are. Kava tonight. This stuff's amazing. Elixir, it's a local place here. But this pina colada cava, woo, delicious. Makes you feel very good. And I don't drink alcohol or smoke the marijuanas anymore, so it's like the closest I get to a buzz, I guess. All right. Cancers. Cancer's got the new moon in their 11th house. And, you know, Neptune's in the 9th, sextiling it. Like, gosh, this is like a true expansion of your individuality and breaking away and making sure that all your connections are pretty much of a spiritual truth, especially with the North Node in your 12th house right now and coming up on eclipses in your 12th house. If your connections aren't like spiritually connected right now, Cancer, good luck with that. Scorpio, I transform. All right, Cancer, what are we transforming for you? What deck are we going to use? We'll use this Ethereal Visions. Well, you have had Saturn and Jupiter in that 8th house for a little while. Saturn's going to stay there, of course, and go retrograde by the 23rd. And Jupiter's leaving, so I mean, you guys have definitely been through a lot, especially when it comes to relationships with Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn in your 7th house. You guys have definitely been transformed through relationships, and I think now you're really figuring out like who is the ultimate merger, and where are the ultimate connections, and where's your power lie. There's definitely a lot going on there. All right, what are you illuminating? The High Priestess and the Four of Wands upright. All right, well, this looks pretty awesome, Cancer, so it's a good way to start. This is like, you have to really trust your intuition. You have to really trust where you're being guided, and you're never going to go, the transformation has to be spiritual. And it's so funny that I mentioned that. It has to be etherical. It can't just be just physical. Like, you have to like feel it within you. You have to go to another place to get the information you're looking for. I always feel like, you know, she's just always tapped into the Akashic records. So this is where you're like really, I think you're really getting a lot of divine, you know, channeling coming in, and you need to pay close attention to that, Cancer. It's giving you all the hints you can need. And I mean, really, with eclipses coming in your 12th, North Node in your 12th, it's all about your spiritual transformation right now. And the more you can trust your intuition and follow that light within you, oh my gosh, you're going to rise up like the phoenix and get out of any hole that you might feel like you're in. Like a little Scorpio, a little scorpion there. And then the feeling is the Four of Wands. I mean, this is, I think you're coming into, you know, home within yourself, within your true, like, your heart, within how you're feeling. Like, this is, I think, you finding the ultimate connections too. With the new moon, you know, in that 11th house, this is about, you know, the connections in life that really are of the ultimate. And, you know, for you too, it's a big one, you know. Being a Cancer, new moons it's everything. New moons, full moons, you feel those immensely. So I think this is all about making sure that, you know, you feel like you're at home spiritually, creatively, from the heart, with the people in your life, the groups you're a part of. And if you feel that way, like, I think that there's so much magic that's coming your way that's going to help you transform in such a positive way. I think Cancers are like really rising up right now, and it's pretty beautiful. What's going on with the mind? The Nine of Pentacles reversed. Maybe you're looking, maybe you're looking for the ultimate payout right now, but maybe there's still some work to do. Maybe you still got to do a little bit of inner work, a little bit of deep dive, a little bit of that soul work. And it's like, I think that you're right there. It's just you could almost be expecting things too quick with that Nine of Pentacles reversed and Mercury. Don't focus too much on the future just yet. I think you're channeling the future with that High Priestess. I think you are, but like you got to still stay present and like focus on how you can get those stepping stones in order. It's definitely, I feel like right now, especially for you, Cancer, it's not a sprint. Like it's definitely a marathon. And I think that you're killing the marathon if you just keep a steady pace and don't like start rushing things mentally. And you have Mercury in that 12th house, Mercury North Node this week. That's a lot. Mercury's about to go shadow too, so don't start, getting ahead of yourself. Deal with one thing at a time. There can be a lot on your mind, but focus on, the true connections, focus on the transformation, and the rest, the beauty and all the good stuff is going to find you. It's going to find you if you feel it and you know that that's coming. Venus, Four of Swords reversed. All right, well, relationships are still a little iffy with your Venus coming out with the Four of Swords. Maybe you're hiding too much, hiding your truth even. Maybe when it comes to a lot of this transformation, maybe you really do have to speak your mind, and instead of just like hiding behind maybe the curtain or just taking breaks, maybe it's more about like getting out there and really expressing yourself to the people around you so that they know how you're feeling deep within. Like maybe you gotta share that and share some of the channel with them. And I think, when it comes to like feelings, just for yourself and like what's bringing that feel good energy here, it's like, stop just like, I feel like Cancers are always sidestepping, right? You're the crabs. Stop sidestepping and like break out. I think you have breakout energy where this is like a really good time. And Jupiter is about to come into your 9th house. Are you kidding? With Neptune there? Like, Cancer, you can dream so big right now. Don't for a second think that you just need to hide from the world. Like, you need to go out and experience. And I think that that's what this is coming out. Reverse like that four is like, with that Four of Swords is like, you need to get out and make some things happen. And understand like the exploration. If you can dream it, I think you can really make it transform and you can make it manifest right now. So especially next week when the sun comes into Gemini at 0 degrees and squares that Jupiter at 0 degrees, this can be a 12th house, 9th house square. Like, talk about the ultimate fantasy vision coming true. If you're ready to go on that adventure, if you're ready to go into that story. But you have to leave the bedroom. You have to leave your comfy clothes, Cancer. What's Mars saying? Six of Wands reversed. Well, you might not be feeling like the winner just yet, but maybe you turn that around. Maybe this is that sort of energy over this next, as we come up to the full moon in 2 weeks. Maybe this is where you might feel like a little beat down. You have Mars in your sign right now, so I think that it's very important that you do find the courage to push forward with anything in life, because if you find that courage, you're going to get the victory. You don't want to play like victim right now, and with Chiron in your 10th house here squaring that Mars as we speak, like that's definitely feeling a little wounded and not being able to maybe reach high in your life. And I think that it comes back to you really finding that inner strength, that inner transformation, that inner, that real intense passion to really go in the direction that you feel called to spiritually and connect to that energy. I think it's very important right now that you don't feel like the victim. And, this is the victory card, but reversed, it almost is like a victim card. It's like the opposite V energy. So I think that's a big challenge for you this week, is to really go deep within yourself, to rise up and feel like a winner. You deserve it. You've gone through a lot. You really have. Of a lot of the signs, having all that energy in Capricorn last year oppose your sign and your sun and a lot of your personal planets, like heavy, and really, transforming you through relationships. And I think now it's time that you find the victory, no matter what what happened in those relationships with people in your life. Like, those helped you define and really find who you are. And this is where it's all coming to fruition. So make sure that you don't feel like a victim, and that you really grab a hold of your confidence and own it, and, full courage ahead. Jupiter, 5 of Swords. Yeah, again, that's that same energy. Like, this is the abundant card, and it's like, if you get yourself out of your head and stop, feeling beat down, like, or feeling like you're not worth it, you're gonna get the best in life. And gosh, sometimes it feels like when you go into these dark places, or you go through these transformations like this, that you're unhappy, the people around you are unhappy, and it doesn't always have to be like that. I think that you need to find the gifts. Like, look for the silver lining. Like, there's a silver lining to everything that's going on, and it's ultimately trying to show you the best. But it's a full trust of the universe. It's a full trust into your intuition right now. Like, where's the universe trying to take you? Where's that adventure? Don't get in your head and start, doubting. That's not where the gifts are going to be at. That's not where the abundance is going to be at. So I think you really have to pick your head up, and you're going to see all the abundance that's coming your way. Saturn, 10 of Cups reversed. Gosh, you feel like you can't have the ultimate emotional connections and the ultimate maybe relationship after all maybe that you've been through, which is completely a Saturn trick. Like, that's a false illusion. Like, that's you restricting yourself by not believing. And I think that that's what, this comes full circle to, that's what the transformation's all about, is you're rising up from feeling maybe victimized, maybe feeling like you can't create, or you can't have nice things, or you can't have good relationships. Like, this is where there's like a celebration in sight. And I think you can feel it. You just have to believe in it too. And not, don't keep putting blocks up either. Like, I think, if you're going to set boundaries, make sure they're healthy boundaries, and they're boundaries for your, for you to take victory. Don't just block yourself from victory. Set boundaries from other people trying to take your victory, so that you can have the courage to rise up and make, great things happen. We got Aries, 3rd house. Saturn, Aries, 3rd house. Yeah, this is almost like you need to get real serious about who you are. And I think that it's about expressing it too, and expressing the transformation, and getting, real serious about that. So you need to define what you want, define your end goal, define your victory, and speak it into the universe. Make it your truth. Like, you can restrict yourself mentally from the courage that you need to, and that's not what's going to give you the transformation. That's not how you're going to rise up like the phoenix. That's not what the guides are trying to help you find right now. And emotionally, that's not going to give you the party at the end, the homecoming, the goodness. So I think you need to get real serious about your courage and speak it into existence, and define exactly the transformation in life that you want right now, and exactly the connections that you want to. Cancer. Not terrible, but I know you guys are gonna get through it. Just gotta go into the unknown right now, Cancer. You can't stand on the precipice any longer. Yeah. Stoked you guys are in here. No, Capricorn hasn't been done yet. So, yeah. Stoked to have you guys in here. This is awesome. So, yeah. Let's see. What's up next? Ooh. Aries. The air eye. Okay. Sweet. Let's do some Aries. Pretty pumped for Aries. Aries got this new moon in their second house. Like, Aries are finding their value and their self-worth big time right now, and you know, you got to be confident to manifest, Aries, and you got to trust the divine big time. Like, you cannot, with Neptune in sextile right now, and especially with Mars in your fourth house, square Chiron in your first house, and your Mars ruled, and you got Chiron in your home sign. Like, this is where Aries need to find their courage and their power and their value and worth, and use that to be a true spiritual warrior, to charge forward for their truth, especially with eclipses coming in their third house. Woo! I'm an Aries rising, so I feel that, but this is for sun signs. Gemini. I think. Yo, Aries, this is definitely about what you think and how you speak it into existence, and your absolute truth. And I think that it's time that you find that twin that is the most confident, that is, you know, really going to channel that power and that courage. I think that's super important. All right, Aries. I'm going to use my favorite deck currently for the Aries. Yeah, pretty wild. Coming up on eclipses in your third and ninth house, and especially that solar eclipse in your third house. Like, this is a big deal for what you think, your truth, what makes sense, your environment. It's everything. Wow, the Lover's reversed. This is what's being illuminated, and the feeling behind it is the Devil reversed. Okay. All right. Pretty savage. You know, the Lover's reversed is an interesting card because sometimes I think it just comes back to, like, really finding love for yourself. Like, instead of putting that love out there for another, which I'm just going to, like, this is the hottest Lover's card I've ever seen. Anyways, back to this. I think you need to find that ultimate love for yourself right now. And that's really what needs to be illuminated. And it's not so much about giving yourself to other people. Like, you really do need to come back and find yourself. And I think you need to get in touch with that side of yourself that loves thyself fully. And then that's that sort of twin-like energy. And I think the more you can be in a clear space mentally about your relationship to yourself, the more powerful you're going to be in your truth, and the more spiritually connected you're going to be, the more you're going to be able to channel right now and really bring in the abundance you deserve. But it's interesting for Aries. I just don't think that, you know, unless they're getting completely twin-like energy from another person, it's just clearly not about giving to the other person right now. I get like Six of Wands, or Six of Coins reversed, like, just in my head that popped up, like Six of Coins reversed. Like, don't just be the charity case right now. Like, you need to focus on your divinity, your, you know, true connection to yourself, your confidence, and your willpower too. And then when we look at this moon reflection over here, the Devil reversed, like, you're definitely breaking through. So this is good. This is, you know, this is a falled out moon breaking out of Capricorn here. Like, whatever's holding you back from that relationship to self or that ultimate self-confidence, I think is everything. And this could be that time where you find your value 100%, and it's divinely guided, and it's like nothing's going to hold you back anymore, especially from your truth and how you express it. So I think this is where you feel this, you know, especially over these next 2 weeks, And with Jupiter coming into your 12th house too, like you can break through anything because the divine has your back. Jupiter in your 12th coming in tomorrow, that is an angel on your shoulder. So break out, break through. You don't have to, connect to anything that isn't bringing you twin-like energy. And I think that's very important for Aries to hear right now. Mercury. I thought that was the 6 for a second. It's the 4 of coins, 4 of pentacles. This is, it's almost like, I would say if it was upright, this is definitely a time to maybe hold on. But maybe you need to let go of something that, maybe it's just in your mind. Maybe it's holding you back from your own manifestations, from your own self-worth and value. What do you need to let go of? What are you holding on too tightly to? So sometimes you just got to let go. You got to let go of, and this is in your mind too. So this is like, I think, which is so Gemini. When Mercury's in Gemini with the North Node, like you have to know what's your truth and what isn't. And if it's not your truth, you can let it go. And Mercury's going to get ready to trine over to Saturn. Like you definitely know what the ultimate connections are, and you can let go and detach from what isn't bringing you twin-like energy or common energy. Like it's simple. And you just have to figure it out in your mind, because I think that your heart is ready to really come back to self, to come back to finding that twin-like energy within yourself. And emotionally, you're ready to break out of anything that's been holding you back from that. What's Venus have to say? King of Cups, reversed. Don't think that you don't deserve the ultimate, like, feel-good energy. Like, I know it's hard having your ruling planet in its fall position in your 4th house. Like, that is not easy. That's an emotional shit show within you right now. And you know what? You need to feel those and act on those emotions. And that's how you're going to find your sovereignty. That's how you're going to find your security. And that's how you're going to find what's going to bring you closer to other people in your life. And that's how you're going to be closer to yourself. So, you can't just, bust out and bust through everything without, making sure that you're checking in with how you're feeling. So you got to come back into that sovereignty within yourself so that you can make good choices within your own mind and know what needs to be let go of and what doesn't. Lots of reversals, all reversals here, Aries. So there's some shit that's a little upside down, I'll be honest. And I think that it's, with the devil reversed, I think that that's really solid, actually. Like, this is, of all these cards, that one's saying that you're going to break free. And, but there's some shit that's upside down, and I think it's within you, and it's internal, and it's kind of messing with your mind and stopping you from the ultimate in life right now. And this is a time where you should literally be looking for the best energy possible. What's Mars saying? Knight of Wands, the ultimate courage. You need to have the courage too, to go into the emotions. You need to have the courage to feel, to have that sovereignty within yourself. But you also need to stand up for your truth. You need to stand up for your confidence. And I think your heart is ready to just take off and be fearless. So let go of the shit in life that's holding you back from your fearlessness. And I think that it's emotional. You need to get in touch with the right emotions. And you know what? Feel the ones that need to be felt, whether they're good, bad, upside down, otherwise. Like, feel them and then make a smart choice that's actually going to bring the healing that you're looking for with Chiron in your 1st house. And that healing comes through you taking the W and taking the victory in your life and riding off into the sunset on your steed of courage and passion and love fearlessly, because you have that sovereignty and because you can let go of shit and break out of old subconscious patterns too. Like, there's definitely some of that coming. Like, I'll be honest, next week with Gemini season, and you're going to have your 3rd house square off with your 12th house, Mercury square Neptune, and the Sun square Jupiter. Like, it's got anxiety written all over it, but not if if you know your worth, not if you have emotional sovereignty, and not if you're trusting that the divine's guiding you to your victory, to your win. What's Jupiter saying? Seven of Cups reversed. Yeah, it's definitely, I think you might feel like there's a ton of options, but really there's only one option for you right now, and I think that's you. Like, the choice is you. Like, if you're choosing between a bunch of other things or yourself, you have to just choose yourself. You just have to choose how you're feeling. Is it a hell yes within you or a hell no? That's the ultimate. It's simple. Stop doing shit for other people that you don't want to do. Break out of those habits. Like, stop tricking yourself. Like, Gemini, that's such trickster energy. Like, are you tricking yourself, Aries, into just thinking you have to do every little thing for everybody else? That's not very Aries energy, I'll be honest. Like, I know your Mars is in fall position. Like, Mars is in fall right now. You might feel like you have to just take care and nurture everybody, but you know what? This is saying that you need to break out from any of that and come back and take care of yourself. What's Saturn saying? Three of Pentacles, upright. Well, finally you got an upright card. You know, you did here with the Mars card, but the two benefic, or the two malefics, of course, give you the upright cards. You need to keep working on yourself, your confidence, your worth, your value. That's what's going to give you the ultimate payout. And I think you need to link up with the right people. Saturn, of course, is in your 11th house. Like, you got to make sure that you're connecting to energy that it's twin-like, honestly. Like, is there a commonality? Is there true connection? And that Mercury ruling this card is going to trine that Saturn. Like, that's a big deal this week. And enter shadow. So, like, if you think it, like, know it and believe it and define and build through that and make sure the connections are there. If the connections aren't there, stop wasting your time. Focus on yourself. You got the moon, dignified in Cancer in the 10th house. Well, that's a Libra rising. This is definitely where you need to put your emotions first, because if you don't trust your emotions and you don't trust how you're feeling, you're not going to be able to conquer the world. You're not going to be able to get everything done or define the mission. So right now you have to get out of your, subconscious traps so that you can truly feel into the mission. And you know what? If you want to be on the mission, you have to be confident, and you have to own it, and you have to define it, and you have to put the work in. And I think right now you need to put the work in on yourself and how you're feeling, so that you can find that ultimate sovereignty to really reach the highest peak in your life and the true legacy. Honestly, you're going to figure it out. Like, this eclipse season in your 3rd house and 9th house, like, you big things, Aries. So be confident, but you know what? Feel right now. And I know it sucks sometimes. Like, Mars in the 4th in Cancer sucks. I'm sorry, it does. It's a hard placement, especially for a Mars-ruled sign. But you have to feel into those. It's important. It's part of life. And it's going to help you reach all the legacy. It's going to help you reach the top. So don't feel like you're held back from that, because right now you have to focus on yourself. Love you, Aries. Ba ba ba. All right, who is going to be next? We're cranking through these pretty good tonight. Hopefully we got some people in the chat. 10 people. Much love, Lucy. Thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you enjoyed that Aries reading. All right. Virgo. What's up, Virgos? Virgo. All right. See what we get for the Virgos. Virgo's, I mean, new moon in the 9th house. This is like, I mean, this is so much, there's just so many doors opening up, right? These are so many new opportunities that you can rise up and experience right now. And you know, it's interesting having like Saturn in your 6th house. Like you can like just be overly picky, even more than usual. And I think that you just need to break out of that and explore. Especially with Uranus in your 9th house, like liberating yourself through new beliefs, new experiences, squaring that Saturn, and like releasing blocks of like what everything needs to look like and be so perfect. And of course, Neptune in your 7th house, sextile this, like you better make sure the ride or die is coming with you on that journey. And with Jupiter coming into your 7th house, like you are getting, wow, Virgos are about to see some magic maybe when it comes to relationships. Maybe some of the best gifts will be the people that find you, or making sure that you're not letting other people define your beliefs and define your magic. Mercury retrograde. Reinvention. We get a Mercury retrograde May 9th. 29th. So, end of this month. Mercury does go in shadow this week, too. So, okay. What deck do we want to use for Mercury retrograde? How about this Crowley Thoth deck? I didn't use it last week. Oh, miss. It happens. It happens. These cards are kind of hard to shuffle. They're like kind of big and kind of floppy. All right, Virgo, where are we going with this? What are you reinventing? Maybe it's something beautiful. Maybe it's something harmonious. Maybe it's something magical with Jupiter coming into your 7th house and like the magic you can create with someone else. Let's see. Wow, the Chariot. Love that. So you're illuminating the Chariot, and then the reflection is Strength reversed. Very interesting to start with that. So the Chariot, like you're illuminating something. You're reinventing something, and you need to really just like trust that the universe is guiding you into the best direction possible. And you don't need to look back at the old. Like you don't need to look back at what was. Like if this is reinvention, which this card says, it's not about what was. Maybe you have to think about the past a little bit, but I think this is like fully just emotionally knowing that if you go in the direction Spirit's calling you, it's everything. This card is the 7th card in the major arcana. Like this is Spirit guiding you and you trusting in that fearlessly to the next place, wherever it's going. And that's the reinvention. And I think that that's where you might feel like the journey is taking you. Like you are on a journey right now with a new moon in your 9th house. Like you got to go in that direction, and I think that you need to believe, and you need to have hope that it's the right one that's going to reinvent, that's going to purify too, reinvent you into the purification of the Virgo that you are, and show you that true beauty. And then Strength reversed for the reflection. This is the Moon card. That's kind of hard too, because you could be a little scared. Like there could be fear around letting go. And just letting the universe take you. So you definitely don't want to be scared right now. I think that it's hard. It's hard letting go. That's one of the hardest things to do, is to just trust. And that's why Scorpio is a hard energy to work with too, because you just have to trust. And you have to set boundaries. And I think that this, kind of brings up some of that energy. And And I'll be honest too, with Chiron in your 8th house here, squaring Mars in your 11th, like you do need to find the ultimate strength to connect to. And that's maybe, really found deep within your emotions and deep within your feelings. What's Mercury saying? What is this? 8 of Swords reversed. Oh, you know what? This is the 8 of Wands. Oh, I was totally reading that like it says strength, right? So I just was like, oh, it's a strength card, but this is totally the 9 of Wands. Well, that kind of changes things. Not bad, Virgo. I haven't read this deck in a while. So I think that it really is boundaries. It's funny that I kind of brought up the 8th house, but, if it is this 9 of Wands, of course, then, this is about really like setting boundaries and not just letting anything into your energy. And I think that, it does say strength, so that does still apply what I was saying, but, you got to have the courage to know when to push the boundaries and to know when to put them up. So if other people, maybe, other people are just trying to get in. See, this is true too with Jupiter coming into your 7th house. Like, other people can be a great reflection of your magic, but they can also, try and be, other people could be the magic. And I think that you still have to find that magic within yourself. And then, getting the 8 of Swords here, I think that you're breaking free from any sort of mental confusion or any sort of doubt. So that's good. I like the 8 of Swords reversed a lot. And, often we hold ourselves back in our own mind. So I think this is where you're getting free from your mind and, kind of trusting in the divine, trusting in the experience that is trying to take you in. That's what, I love that we started off with the Chariot. That's pretty amazing. And then getting this card below it with the Mind, it's like, all right, I'll surrender and I'll take off the chains that I put around myself, because the only thing that would interfere with, I think, this sort of journey or this, reinvention of self would be, you interfering with yourself. Nine of Cups reversed. This is coming for Venus too. I don't think other people are going to make you happy. Even with Jupiter coming into your 7th house, like, that doesn't necessarily mean that other people are just going to bring you happiness. Like, I think you still have to make sure that, like, you are channeling your own magic. You're not just, letting other people dictate that happiness for you. You have to have the courage within to find your happiness, to find your security, and to find what makes you feel good. And I think with Venus in the 9th house too, like, happiness is an adventure. Relationships are an adventure. And right now it's about the exploration of that. And maybe not having everything figured out, but maybe just being willing to journey for the happiness and not just expecting it to show up, or thinking that, maybe if you just go on this new journey into the unknown where Spirit's taking you, that I think you should know that if you trust the guidance of this Chariot card that's being illuminated, that, if you have that inner strength within, you will find happiness. But maybe that's why it's coming underneath this 9 of Wands, and it does have the strength on it, is like, if you don't feel strong within yourself emotionally, within your own world, that, just going out on some journey, that won't bring you the happiness either. So I think you got to look within and make sure that you truly do want to reinvent yourself from within. And if you do that, I think that, you'll find that wherever the universe is pulling you is going to bring you the ultimate happiness in life. What's Mars? Though, the Lover's card again. Look at, that's good, because you want to reinvent yourself with love. And you want to act for true love. You want to act for unconditional love. And you know what I always kind of come back to self with this card too. Like, you have to have unconditional love for yourself. And, Virgo, like any earth sign, can hold guilt for, a lot of, past life stuff, early life stuff. They can hold guilt, and that's why they overanalyze and judge, and usually it's them judging themselves. And I think the more Virgos purify and truly love themselves, the more that's where Jupiter's going to come into the 7th house here and just unlock the major gifts with people, with relationships, with love and balance and harmony. Just remember to reinvent yourself inwardly first. Find that courage, find that happiness within, and you're going to find it with other people. So I think there's great gifts, and you know what? You want to define what the love and what the heart wants. And that's going to show you all the beauty. That's going to show you all the amazing gifts. And I love this card. It does have the lion, Leo, and it does have the eagle here, so Scorpio. And it is that 5th house and that 8th house that really do make like true love, like, and then it sandwiches into the 7th house. So there's major gifts, but you got to make sure that the heart's in it and that the passion's in it too, for yourself and with whoever you're with or whoever you're taking action for. So maybe the journey is definitely meant to be experienced with someone else, but only if you're finding happiness within yourself. Jupiter, you got the 8 of discs, 8 of coins. So I think it's almost like the work's never done when you get the 8 of coins. Like, you got to keep putting in the work to get, the ultimate manifestations. Even when we think we're done, like, we still got to keep mastering. So when it comes to, maybe relationships with Jupiter coming into your 7th house here, like, if you're not, in that magical relationship already, don't just like go looking for it. Make sure that you're still working on yourself and still working on the abundance you can create, and you're going to attract that energy in. And maybe, that's part of the mastery is really just working on yourself and trusting that guidance the most, so that you can, bring in the manifestations that you want, whether they are relationships or whether they're more physical things, job, money. I think the abundance is definitely real. So don't quit. The gift is in not quitting for whatever you want. This is a reinvention spread. We got that card first. So, and it is a 6, so it's like reinventing the good things, reinventing the beauty and the harmony. And I think that starts by making sure that you don't quit on yourself. What's Saturn say for this reading? 7 of discs. Wow. And it says failure on the card too. So if you're just giving to anything right now, or not, kind of reinventing or following where Spirit's trying to take you right now, I think maybe there's failure energy out there. Or maybe you're feeling like you're not getting the return on investment that you wanted. And I think that kind of comes back to like you finding your own inner happiness, because if you have your own inner happiness, whatever shows up, you're going to know that there is a return on investment because you're worth it and because the journey's taking you in that direction. And, reinvention isn't like an easy thing, and Mercury retrogrades aren't easy, easy things either. Like, yeah, we get 3 a year, and, I think we can get kind of used to them, but they're tricky. And I think that reinvention can be tricky too. So don't, start doubting yourself. This is, I think, where you really find purification within your own self-sovereignty, within love. And you know what? If it's not love with a partner, it's love ultimately for yourself with the lovers. And there's a lot breaking free here too. So you got to break out of old patterns to go into the new stories. And that's where things are going for you right now. So don't hold yourself back from where things are going. Mercury, Capricorn, 4th house. Yeah, I think you got to get serious about how you feel. You got to get, serious about how you're communicating what you want within yourself. Like that'll be, that'll help you find happiness. But, you got to be responsible for your own emotional happiness too. and you have to understand it and speak for it. Like, nobody else is going to know what's going on in your world unless you tell them, unless you define and make it happen. So, you know, get serious about how you're feeling, understand it, reinvent it, and express it. And even if it's a little dry or a little, a little serious, that's, just get it out so that you feel like you're free to go into the abyss of where the universe is trying to take you right now. Because I love that this started out with the Chariot card. It's just like, I feel like you can feel like you're not worthy of the investment that the universe thinks you're worthy of. And you know what? The reinvention is actually you stepping into knowing that divine guidance is everything, and that you're going to break out of any sort of interference or anything so that you can have the ultimate. But it starts with understanding your inner world and knowing that that's where the rest gets made. All right, Virgo. Crowley deck. Jeez. Woo. How's everybody doing? I have a pretty good lag on this, so. What's up, Allie? Thanks for joining. All right. Who next? Who next? Scorpio. Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. Last time I used the zombie deck for you. I won't use the zombie deck for Scorpio this week. We'll use something else. Well, Scorpio's got a new moon in their 7th house of relationships, other people. Neptune in the 5th with the sextile. So, I mean, gosh, this is really stepping into your heart and the magic within your heart and within your expression, and making sure that relationships are truly spiritually connected from the heart. If they're not, good luck. We're just in those times. Oh, so I guess Scorpio's looking for some stability maybe within their relationships. Interesting. Just use a traditional deck. I won't get all fancy for Scorpio. Keep it real. All right, well, Earth element. Scorpios probably do need some stability within their relationship life. I'm not going to lie. And, having Mars in their 9th house, square their 6th house, Chiron, that is sort of that's like a purification, within like learning how to stop judging themselves so much too. All right, what do we got? 7 of Wands reversed is being illuminated. And the reflection is the 2 of Swords upright. Well, I think, maybe you felt like people were, against you, Scorpio, or you had your back up against a wall a little bit. But I think ultimately you maybe you're finding a lot of stability within yourself and changing that. Like maybe you're finding a lot of confidence to just be in your truth, let your heart sort of justify the life you want, which is good because with Neptune in your 5th house and Jupiter coming into your 5th house too, I mean, this is extreme sort of levels of courage and heart and self-expression and being true to, what makes you happy. So, if you have to beat people away with a stick that aren't making you happy in life right now, especially if it happens to be a partner or relationship, I think that the Seven of Wands reversed is saying like, yeah, good job. Like, if you had to stand up for yourself, you did. And you know what? I think if you haven't, maybe this is where you kind of have to make a big choice too. So you can feel blinded maybe about your emotions or how you're feeling or how to communicate your emotions. But I think ultimately, like, you really do just need to trust where your intuition wants you to go. Like, that'll help you define and make the choice. Even if you are standing at a crossroads and you're looking at these two big choices, sometimes actually just closing your eyes and trusting the moon, your intuition, will take you exactly where you need to go and down the path of truth. But you have to stand your ground from your heart. And you know what? I think maybe it comes back to like the stability within yourself to trust where your heart's at and to trust, that is the defining factor right now. And that's going to help you with whatever relationship stuff is going on in your life, whether it's the ultimate relationship or whether that is falling apart, depending on where you're at. The choice is within you, and you can overthink it, but really just trusting your emotions and your instincts are going to be everything. Knight of Pentacles for Mercury. So, I don't know, maybe you're feeling like you can manifest everything. You can kind of just rush in and make things happen, which is good. I think that does bring, that's confident. So I think in your mind you are confident right now, which is a good thing. I definitely, be confident, but trust your emotions too. Like, go out there and make it happen. If you're feeling stable and confident, Scorpio, fight people off and really, really go where your heart and your gut's taking you. I think that's great. Venus, the Emperor. All right, Scorpio, this is looking pretty good for you. Like, it looks like you're really going to take charge, If you're not in the relationship that's bringing you the best right now, I think the choice within you, and you have to make a call. And, like, it's going to bring you more stability going into the future. And if you're stable in your relationship, then, you're feeling like on top of the world right now. And you're feeling like you can go manifest and you can make things happen. So that's great. And the Emperor is very Aries. And, of course, you got Aries in your 6th house. And Chiron's there, and it's squaring Mars in your 9th. So, interesting. I think that when it comes down to where the journey's taking you to, like, make sure that you are defining that. And you know what? I think relationships are important right now, but you still got to define for yourself. You still got to be willing to expand your world, expand your reality. But I think you got it. Like, that's great. Like, you're in full control right now, Scorpio. So that's outstanding. I don't really have much to say. It seems like you got it under control. Mars, let's see what this is. I got the Ten of Swords reversed. This usually tells me there's some sort of unfinished business. So maybe you are feeling very in control or very stable right now, but maybe there's something. Don't make sure everything's all tidied up and there's no loose ends. If you're just going to go into the stable and rush into how you can manifest and, make big choices right now, and I feel like there's a lot of confidence in this reading. But then with Mars, one of your ruling planets, right? And then you have your other ruling planet, Pluto, here in your 3rd house. So, make sure that it's, you're really in your truth and you're stable in that. And Pluto just went retrograde too. And with Mars in your 6th, like, if you need to make sure to tidy up the loose ends in your life and clean things up, like, do that before going on to the next. Don't just rush in just because you're feeling all headstrong right now. Like, but at the same time, don't rush in. I'll be honest, don't rush into anything. What's Jupiter saying for you? Page of Cups. The abundance is in the new stories within yourself. It's in the curiosity of where things can go. And, are you ready to feel those things? And maybe change things up. I think that, yes, I feel like you're confident and kind of headstrong right now, but don't take like a childlike nature out of it too. Like, you don't have everything figured out. Like, straight up, like, not everything's completely figured out. So make sure that you're still curious. I think you could take yourself out of the abundance if you just think you have everything figured out, when I think this is also saying, like, look, you're in a powerful position right now, you're stable, you're good, but don't get over cocky. Like, pay attention to how you're feeling, pay attention to the energy around you, and there's more abundance there too. Saturn, Knight of Wands, rods, same thing. Knight of Wands reversed. It's a fast card right there. Yeah, I think Saturn's saying, look, you can't just rush into everything. You can't be so headstrong that, make sure that you're stable. Like, I think you need to slow down too. Like, slow down. There's so much like power and intensity in this reading. This is so Scorpio. Slow down just a little bit. And I think Saturn's saying that, like, you need to be responsible for your actions and your heart too. And if you're just going to be way too headstrong, way too confident, I think you might overlook something, and then you're not trusting your intuition, and you might make a choice that you're going to regret. And that Mars, your ruling planet, getting this Ten of Swords reverse, like, pay attention to what's up. Pay attention to what's going on around you so that you can, really be stable and make the right choice. Gosh, I mean, Scorpio is just about to make things happen. Also, this Gemini energy is coming into your 8th house. Like, you're about to have a lot in that 8th house, and eclipses there. So, don't get too sure of yourself just yet, Scorpio. There's kind of like transformational energy coming your way. I think you need to slow down and make sure that you're paying attention. Sun in Aquarius in the 7th house. Well, that's a Leo rising, and the sun, so it's a detriment sun in the 7th house opposing the rising. I think you need to really, check in with yourself too right now. Make sure that you're connecting to the right people in your life, especially with the new moon in your 7th house. Like, we didn't really touch too much on relationship stuff with this reading, but check in with the people in your life. Like, make sure they're the ultimate connection, and also make sure that you're not following the leader. Like, I think you need to make sure that you're coming back to yourself too, and individuating, so you can ground and find stability within yourself. There's a good chance too with this reading, like, if you're just making choices for someone else or doing something that someone else wants in your life, you're gonna miss the electricity of maybe where the power truly lies. So pay attention to that. Scorpio. All right. Well, damn. Started off interesting and kind of went to another place. I was wondering if we were going to get any relationship stuff for that one, just because of the new moon in the 7th, but we did. Pisces. What's up, fishies? Bow, 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 bow. Oh man, what have we got? We got like 5, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, halfway done. Sweet. Okay, Pisces. Let's see what we got for you, fishies. Pisces, wow, you're going to have both your ruling planets in your home sign. That's pretty special, and that hasn't been seen since 1855 through 1856. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy to have both ruling planets, Neptune and Jupiter, in your home sign. Super rare. And it's like the brothers, right? Kronos' kids, Poseidon and Zeus, and What are they going to bring you? It could be the ultimate magic. Like, this is where Pisces might find the ultimate magic that they've been looking for their entire life up till now. And it's just a taste too, because of course Jupiter's going to retrograde out, but we'll come back. Whoa, Grand Cross. All right, Pisces. We're getting serious right off the bat with a Grand Cross. It says Provoker on it. The Grand Cross is no joke. This is the greatest force there is. And it forces anything under the sun, anything possible. It can be the most magical thing that you've ever experienced in life, or it can be a crisis, whatever needs to come out. And the universe and God makes that decision. But this is where extreme pressure can either create a diamond or just blow up to a bunch of little pieces. So hopefully, in your case, it's creating a diamond. We're going to use the Botticelli for you, Pisces. Because I know Pisces likes some pretty energy. Wow, Grand Cross. Makes an 11 too with 47. So that's a master number. Are you going to master something, Pisces? Is this where you master yourself and your magic? Might be. Knight of Wands is illuminated. And the King of Cups is reversed. All right. Well, I think, first of all, you know what? I think maybe this is sort of a race to what you can provoke within yourself, possibly, and the courage that maybe you need to provoke within yourself to really step into your magic, to really step into the greatness that's trying to find you. Of all signs, like Pisces is really in, you already are the most dreamiest sign out there, and you're constantly, the visionary and trying to, come back to reality. Well, you're going to have both the most out there energies, spiritually speaking too, in your sign. So I think this does, come back to really finding the heart to conquer this reality, and you conquer it through your magic. And I think you conquer it through, finding that within you and provoking sort of the courage as well. And you got the King of Cups reversed for the moon and what's reflecting. So, it's interesting coming into that energy. You might, I think at your exterior is feeling very strong right now. And, you're about to have eclipses in your 4th house. So you really are finding a new inner world right now and really trying to find like the emotional stability and sovereignty. Like, it's been an extremely emotional time for Pisces right now. So it's no wonder that we got that in the moon spot. And you know what? I think you're just about to find that emotional sovereignty. You're just about to find that. And you know what? You need to stay strong. You need to stay like in that position of feeling like you can conquer the world. You just had a new moon in your 3rd house here. Sextile that Neptune in your home sign, in your 1st house. So this is definitely a time where I think you're understanding what you want and your truth and your spiritual destiny, but you have to make sure that you're totally right and secure within yourself right now. And that's going to be looked at, and maybe that's what's getting provoked right now, is instead of paying attention to the world and society with that South Node in your 10th house, maybe it's time to really focus on you. Mercury, 5 of Swords reversed. Well, I guess, that's again coming out of some sort of mental blockage, some sort of some sort of self-doubt or self-sabotage within your mind. Maybe you're going to pick up all the pieces too, and really get some things figured out where maybe you felt like you didn't have the clarity mentally you were looking for, or maybe you didn't want to hurt someone's feelings. But, I think you have the courage to start provoking what's true to you right now. And you know what? If you have to hurt someone's feelings a little bit to really like get your own feelings right, sometimes that's necessary. Like, you can't just always give. Sometimes you got to give back to yourself and, have the courage to do so. Oh, the Fool card for Venus. Yeah, you know what? Just go on the journey. Just, it might be kind of scary. It might be a little wild. There might be a lot of pressure building up for you right now, but, especially with the nodes squaring your sign and maybe squaring some of your planets, like this is a big moment where, you know what? You are kind of going on this journey naked, and you know what? It's best to just be fearless. Best to just be fearless and go where you're guided, because you don't know until you go. And if you try and fight a Grand Cross, good luck, because that's fate, and you can't block fate out. So you might as well just say, okay, on my merry way to wherever I'm being guided. And you know what? It's in the Venus spot, so like this could be with relationships. This is gonna make you feel good. You know what? The more you just release any sort of judgment of the outcome and just go, it's all about the journey, and this is the Fool's journey. And ultimately, it's just being willing to go on the journey. It takes courage, and I think that ultimately you're illuminating a lot of courage right now. Just don't feel lost within yourself, and like you can't, because maybe a fear or something. Like, no, you're not scared, and it's gonna feel good to see what the universe has to bring for you. What's Mars saying? 4 of Wands upright. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I would say that you're in a time where I think you are coming back to self. You are coming back to your magic. You're coming back to your heart. And that's going to bring a lot of feel-good energy and maybe bring out, a youthful energy within you too, to where you can go on and go on the journey and feel good and not worry. So this is looking pretty good. I think you just, have to focus on your inner world big time right now and not get lost in the outer world, and worry about like what's going on within you. Where's the diamond at within you? Are you the diamond in the rough right now? And if you maybe put your energy more into that and not be worried about what the outer world's doing, you might just find that you really come home to yourself, and taking that action might feel amazing. And it might even feel like a new journey for you right now. Jupiter, 10 of Swords, upright. Well, I guess the bright side here would be the abundance is it's only up from here. If you feel a little beat down, if you feel a little, confused, a little unsure, I think you're really finding your truth. You're really finding who you are right now. And especially with your 2 ruling planets coming into your home sign, like you are definitely going to find out who you are. And that's pretty magical. I think that it's a whole cycle ending for you, and you know what? The abundance would just be trusting that the new cycle is going to force out greatness, and it's going to show you the magic. Like that keeps coming up for Pisces. Like they're stepping into magic right now. Like truly. So, gosh, don't stay in the old cycle. Don't keep putting swords in your back to block yourself from the evolution, from the goodness. Believe that a better story is out there for yourself. It is, and with Mars too in your 5th house of Cancer, like squaring over to your 2nd house Chiron, like this is where you do find your confidence, you do find your power, and you find your heart, and that's going to make you change your mind about sticking more swords in your back, because you're going to stop doing what doesn't bring you value. You're going to stop doing what the heart doesn't want, and you're going to open up to the abundance within you. What's Saturn saying? King of Swords reversed. Damn. 2 kings reversed. Again, this came out earlier for a sign. I think it was Cancer, maybe. You don't have to have everything figured out, You just have to let the universe kind of take you in the direction that things are meant to go right now. And if you think you're going to have it all figured out, good luck. There's blocks up that we can't look that far around the corner right now. The universe is not set up that way. And honestly, there's something exciting and fun about that. And I think that you're in a big position where you need to trust the universe more than anything, which is almost like your job, Pisces, in this life is to surrender to the universe, like honestly. So stop trying to figure everything out. Stop trying to be a know-it-all. Stop trying to have everything analyzed and understood when you haven't even understood what's going on within yourself, which is actually provoking the greatness and the magic within you. We got Venus in Taurus in the 10th house. Look at that. You are going to have all of the best things, and all of the accomplishments and all of the magic is going to manifest in this reality, in this world for you. And you just have to find yourself first and let this grand cross play out. Like, that's the future coming through. So stop worrying about it. Stop thinking about it. The future's coming, and it's going to be the most magical and best and top notch, top quality, whatever it is you're looking for. But the South Node right now is in your 10th house. Like, stop paying attention to all that shit that's outside of yourself. Real talk. Because it's coming. But right now, you got to provoke what's inside yourself to get there. Love you, Pisces. I hope that the fishies are finding all the magic right now. It's pretty spectacular that you're gonna have Jupiter and Neptune in your home sign. It's super rare. 1855 was the last time that happened. And 1855, they really weren't even like, nobody really knew what was up with Neptune either, to be honest. Like, so this is like a way different spiritual consciousness that we're all on, and especially you. Okay. Who next? Cappies. What's up, Capricorn? Hopefully Federico is still in the chat, my Capricorn brother. Hopefully you're still here. Let's do this. Let's see what we get. Capricorns just had a new moon in their 5th house. So Capricorn is like, you better be doing and living life from your heart right now and having the courage to have a good time. That's what this is all about. And with Neptune in your 3rd house, sextiling your 5th house, like, you have to believe in your truth, and you have to believe in your heart and trust that 100%, and not be fogged out or not think that you're crazy for wanting to just live like the best and most fun life. Which is wild, because Capricorns almost right now have to like really step out of the office, step out of the business side of life, and like really look at what their heart wants. It's not all about the achievements if your heart isn't in it. That's not going to make you happy. And you have to be in your spiritual truth, and you have to have your mind locked in. Otherwise, are you a mystical sea goat, or are you just a goat? Moon. Soul. I told you, the mystical sea goat. This is where Capricorns are really stepping into their mystical sea goat. Capricorns have had a lot, more than most signs, right? I mean, you've had Pluto in your sign since 2008. You've had a Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, a Jupiter-Pluto-Saturn. Like, this is a real deal. And Pluto crossing over your planets, like, don't doubt for a second that you haven't just gotten a whole upgrade, especially if your sun's there, and other planets too. So it is a whole upgrade, and this is really where Capricorns are finding their heart, so that they can make sure that that's part of the mission, that's part of the achievement, that's part of the structure of their life, so that they can be mystical again. All right. Queen of Swords, illumination. The reflection is the Page of Coins. Look, I think that this is pretty clear that, like, Capricorns are really, really defining right now what their truth is, what their soul wants, and coming in touch, really getting in touch with that, really getting in touch with their feelings, really getting in touch with the right emotions that are going to define and push forward and really understand And especially even with Neptune in the third and Jupiter coming into the third house here, this is these are major intellectual gifts, and the Queen of Swords is illuminating that. And you're going to be able to really pierce through the veil of understanding and have things connected. So there's a lot of dots connecting, and it comes from the soul. It comes from your emotions and how you're feeling. And then the reflection, of course, in the Page of Coins, new energy, new manifestations, new missions. Capricorns are getting that. And you know what? It can switch up. Like, let it happen. Let the new come in. It doesn't have to be the same old all the time. And I think that's where this reality is changing for Capricorns, is because this is really opening up the heart in ways that might not have been open before. And it's connecting it more with the soul, and maybe even just more with the spiritual mission. And Pluto's rewriting Capricorns. Like, they're getting a whole system upgrade. They're almost done with it. So, like, literally, Capricorns coming into next year in 2024, they're a whole different breed than they were prior. A whole different thing. And and with the sextiles that they've been getting with Neptune, this is Capricorns coming into their mysticism again, and not just cold, chained up, reality driven Capricorns. This is dope. All right. Mercury, Six of Swords. You know that there's something better, and you just have to trust your heart, and you have to trust your gut and go where the universe is pulling you. I think that there's so much defined right now that you're ready to switch up reality in whatever way that's going to make you feel the best. And it's like, no question. You're going to sail to the other side. Doesn't even matter. Defining. There's a lot of defining energy in the Queen of Swords and the Six of Swords, where it's like, I'm going to the better place. I know it's better. My guides, the butterflies even there, helping me point my sword in the direction I need to go, and I'm out. What's up? There's something new out there in this world that I need to connect to. Venus, Eight of Cups reversed. You know what? You don't have to walk away from anything unless it's not filling up your cups. Like, you don't have to run away from... I don't think Capricorns are running or walking away from anything that is not important to the heart right now. If it's important to the heart, they're in it, and they're defining it, and they're taking it with them to a better side. But if it's not of the heart, if it's not like feeling right, if the vibe isn't right too, you definitely, have to trust that moving in another direction too would be beneficial. So I think that Eight of Cups is interesting for the Venus spot, because you want to move in a direction that's going to make you feel good, but you have to trust your heart. You don't want to, and you have to trust your intuition big time too. But it's almost like you don't need to go away from the emotion right now. I'm going to clarify on that card. King of Cups. Yeah, you don't need to go away. Yeah, you're emotionally sovereign, emotionally strong, which is wild because, Capricorns have Chiron in their fourth house right now, which is difficult. And Mars is squaring that in their seventh house. So, I think this is big for Capricorns too, where they're making sure that the right people are going on the journey with them because they have it defined, and they're in touch right now with their soul and their mysticism. So they're not just going to walk away from anything unless they need to step into their emotional sovereignty to heal and to feel like they can go in that direction. And if people are either on the boat with Capricorns or not, Capricorns are going. Mars. Two of Cups reversed. Well, it's a soulmate card. Kind of funny. We were just talking about that seventh house with Mars in it. If people aren't the soulmate, I think that Caps are pretty clear on that. They're moving in another direction. But with Mars too in fall in the seventh house here, like opposing your planets, like, don't go just looking for any soulmate either. Like, make sure it's true. Make sure it's soul. That's a big part of this reading. Make sure it vibes with the soul. I think that Capricorns are defining a whole new spiritual mission right now. And if there's not a soulmate that's on that soul level of the mission too, then, like I said before, Caps aren't going to let them in the boat with them. So, interesting. I think that Caps are definitely focusing on their transformation right now and their own soul evolution. And, that's good. That's good. But other people can be involved in it too. It's just that Mars, like, don't just go acting for anybody or anything. Like, make sure it's true. Make sure it's a soul mate. Make sure it's a soul connection. Jupiter, Page of Wands. Well, I think you're definitely curious. You want to trust the heart right now. It's almost like Caps haven't been, like, in a place to really, like, get into their heart yet. And, like, this is a pretty powerful new moon that we're having. And it's almost like, especially in this new age, this 2021, like, things are just different now. We've crossed the galactic plane in galactic astrology. It's just, we're coming into a much higher vibration. And I think that, for Caps, this is where they're, like, kind of breaking free and really, like, being like, wow, if I'm just achieving, but my heart's not in it, that's not going to define the reality I want. So I think Caps are finding that when their heart's truly in it, they can really find their mysticism and all the magic does find them. So that would be the abundance of Jupiter is trusting the heart and staying in that energy, especially with a new moon in the 5th house, sextile Neptune. Like, your mysticism is within your mind and you fully understanding your heart and that alchemy in itself. Saturn, Knight of Swords, fast card, quick. Yeah, I would maybe slow down just a little bit. This is a pretty powerful reading for Capricorns, but, you still got to, like, you can't just slay every dragon instantly. I think Saturn's saying kind of like, slow it down just a little bit. Cool your jets just a little bit. With Mercury also in trine to Saturn this week. Like, I think that you really do have some things figured out. And, Mercury's in the 6th house, and you're about to have eclipses in the 6th house and 12th house axis. Like, this is where you're bringing that spiritual truth into your reality and making the right changes. And slow down a little bit, smell the roses. Don't rush too much to go to another side or to, do that. Trust your soul evolution. Trust Spirit's got your back. And I think that the intuition's everything right now. And it's helping you find that emotional sovereignty and that true connection to the heart. And gosh, I think that you have so much power right now, but just be a little cautious. Not much though. This is a pretty amazing reading, I'll be honest. Like, if you feel like you have to define. If you know, you know. Got Mercury, Capricorn, 8th house. Well, I think that, yeah, when it comes to your true deep sort of emotions and what boundaries need to be set, you're, like, fully in your responsible state and, like, yep, these are going to be this is the right connections. This is not, this is the deeper aspect of what I need. This is what I want to be intimate with. This is what I don't. And this is for my long-term future here. And it's kind of cold and dry when it comes to that right now. Like, Capricorns are serious about the transformation they're going through, which is great because they're stepping into their heart and they should be serious about that. That was dope. That was dope Capricorn reading. Yeah, Frederico's definitely going through that soul evolution big time. Cap gang. Killing it. Setsuki, I these are sun sign readings in my opinion. I mean, you could use them for your rising, but I look at it as a soul, kind of more of a soul reading, which I would link more to the heart and our soul expression, which is the sun. So that's my personal opinion. You're welcome to use them for a rising, but I'm using them more off sun sign, which, you get on Twitter, sun sign, solar astrology's dead, so whatever you want to believe in. This might trigger people, but I think if you don't resonate with your sun sign, you don't really resonate with the divine, because your sun is the illumination of that soul, of that divine connection. And if you just go off your rising sign, you're just going off your ego and your persona and your mask and not your true deeper aspect of who you are. Trigger warning. Who's next? Sagittarius. Talk about defining through other people right now. North Node in the 7th house. Eclipses coming in the 7th and 1st house axis. And then, a lot of reality-based stuff right now with the new moon in the 6th house and like making some changes. Like I think Sagittarius are doing some major spring cleaning. I need to change that. Which is good. It's good to clean some things up and get some things, analytically figured out and getting ready to make sure that, like, are you really with your soulmate right now? Or is it about to come in? Which is possible, especially with your ruling planet Jupiter going into Pisces, your 4th house. Like, if the relationships and the people in your life don't truly align with your inner world and your inner visions and your inner beliefs, Sag, they're going to be an interesting reflection. Venus. I love that for you guys. I do. So you get love for this reading, and you have a new moon in the 7th house here. Next, you get an eclipse in your 7th house. Right now, you're in your 6th house, but that's pretty amazing. I think that, I'm really thinking forward to that solar eclipse a month from now for you, because I think you're going to know really like where the love story is going, and maybe you're purifying your reality for the perfect love story right now. Let's see where the cards take us for this. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Sagi's got the love. Sagi's got the love. I don't know if you guys can hear the music I have in the background, but I dig this song that's playing. I have it decently low. All right. All right, Saggies, what's up with the love? 3 of Pentacles is the illumination. The reflection is the High Priestess. That's pretty awesome. Well, I think in your case, the illumination is teamwork does make the dream work. And with the North Node in that sign and Venus in Gemini in your 7th house, like, wow, talk about like really finding the true love partnerships and the true connections that you can build on right now. And I think that that's what it's all about. And it's like also with getting the High Priestess as your reflection in your moon card. Like, this is the ultimate understanding of the love, of your true love and the true connections that are going to be worth building and putting the hard work in for the future. I think that you can really see through any illusions too. Like, the illusion would be that you're just in a relationship for anything other than, like true love and true like beauty and harmony with another person. So pretty amazing. What's Mercury saying? 2 of Pentacles reversed. Well, you might be looking for some sort of balance, but I think overall, like, actually it seems like if you're in love and you're finding the beauty and harmony with another person in your life right now, or even just within yourself, like, I don't think you're really balancing too much out. I think that you're actually really defining for yourself. And even with a South Node in your sign, like, that's kind of like karmically rewriting, the stage and making you really look out and channel that Gemini energy. Like, I think Sagittarius are realizing too right now that, they really do have to believe in their truth. They really do have to look for new information and kind of move out of maybe old stagnant beliefs. And I think that this is a powerful thing where they're finding that beauty and harmony within themselves so that they can build that with someone else for the long term, and also just have that understanding and not have to weigh out too much right now, especially within their mind. What's Venus saying? Wow, justice. Yeah, I think that the ultimate justification is from within yourself right now, and seeing that beauty and that harmony. People are a great reflection of you right now, Sagittarius, and I think if you can like have the scales very even, like that's when it's love. Like, that's when it's true. Like, you don't want to give too much. You don't want to, take away too much. It's got the, yin yang, alpha omega. There's definitely like a lot of like two yin yangs. I feel like there's just perfect balance right now. So Sag is in an amazing place with this reading. I think that they're really stepping into their true love, their true balance and harmony, and you know, really justifying that, and even seeing both sides. I think they have like laser vision, and like Sages are learning how to really alchemize right now. And they're about to get eclipses and in their axis. This is amazing. Sages are getting a big transformation too, and I think they're really stepping into their own beauty and harmony of how they can make this reality the best right now. What's Mars saying? The Devil card reversed. Yeah, taking the action to break free and define for what's of the heart, what's of the love. And not just, you know, blind belief, but actually like factual belief within themselves that's really divine. And that's the thing too, is when it comes to your individual truth, it doesn't have to be factually defined. And I think that, you know, this reading's saying that you're breaking free from any of that right now. And, you know, with Mars here in your 8th house, I think that there is this sort of transformation of breakthrough energy, Sagittarius. So own that, you know. Whatever's holding you back or whatever's keeping you bound, especially if it's keeping you bound from the heart, you know you got to break. You're already seeing where the justice is. You're already seeing where the true balance lies. You just got to define, you know, what you want and find that harmony and find that beauty. Jupiter, 4 of Wands. Look at that, more balance. Gosh. Sages are coming into perfect harmony right now in this reading, and it's true love, it's true beauty. There's a lot of magic. And you know, with your ruling planet, Jupiter, coming into Pisces, like there is so much magic within you, but it's deep within, you know, your emotions. It's deep within your personal life. So again, it's not looking outside of yourself for the magic, but I think it is really coming home to the magic within yourself. And that might be where the perfect balance in love really is. And that might be what you're working on, and maybe where the teamwork is with other people in your life that see that true balance and are part of the balancing act with you. Like, you'll know if people are tipping your scales in the wrong direction, like it ain't true. It ain't of the beauty. It ain't of the love right now. Saturn, the Lovers reversed. How funny Saturn throws the Lovers reversed out. Well, again, like I said this earlier, and it still holds true to me, and it's the first thing that comes to mind is like, you got to make sure that that balance and that love is within you. And it's not, you know, out of all the signs, you do have the most definition of self through other people right now with the North Node in your 7th house, and your relationships are everything right now. But if they're not the true love, the true connection, the true balance, you know, don't fucking put yourself through some weird karmic journey right now when you know you can break through for something better, for the true love that's really out there for you, and the true beauty and the true balance that you're looking for. So set boundaries and pay attention to how you're truly feeling. Like your intuition's spot on right now. Like you are just in it. So use that to your advantage and make sure that you're trusting your intuition when it comes to the people and the connections in your life. Yeah. Moon, Cancer, 1st house. Yeah, you're literally going to define your life right now and where you're going and the direction you're heading by your emotions and your intuition and how you feel, and like you making sure that you're secure within yourself. You find that beauty and balance within yourself, it's just going to be an easy reflection that's going to come back to you of beauty and balance and harmony through someone else. And that's where the love story's at, and that's where things are going for you right now, Sag. And gosh, what a great reading. And I truly hope that the Sages out there that watch this are like feeling that energy right now of the magic that they have within themselves. Because it's like, if you just trust your intuition and not like block yourself and put up the walls for like good things, like so much good things are going to find you. And it's like beauty and love and all the physical magic that you would possibly want in this world. Sagittarius. That was a great reading. Sag and Cappy's just got some great readings. Who next? We're getting to the nitty gritty here. Libra. Kind of covered it with my finger. I think I'm gonna make some bigger ones here, but you know, Libra. All right, Libras. Well, Libras. About to get eclipses in your 9th and your 3rd house. You just had a new moon in your 8th house, in the other Venus ruled sign of Taurus, which is so interesting that Libra's transformative energy is Taurus, finding themselves and confidence in themselves and their own value and self-worth. It's where they find the transformation at, because if you're just looking for that transformation in other people without looking into yourself, Taurus, relationship to self, that other Venus sign, you're not going to see the truest beauty that lies out there. 11th house, friends. Interesting to get the 11th house. Your 11th house, of course, is Leo, and it's the sun, so let's use this deck. So what's up with friends for the Libras? You know, groups of people. I also look at the 11th house as really breaking chains, breaking free. This is innovation. This is not doing things by the status quo also. Like really finding true individuality. 7 of Pentacles reversed is the illumination, and the reflection is the 6 of Swords. So, geez, that 7 of Pentacles reverse is really telling me, like, if your friends aren't the right connection, like if you feel like they're taking you and making you feel like you're not worthy, or like, gosh, 7 of Pentacles reverse is almost like zero return on investment. Like you put in so much work and you got nothing, or you got stiffed a paycheck or something. And like that's a pretty crappy energy to feel when it comes to like friends. Like, do you feel like friends are just leaving you empty right now? Are you giving and not getting anything in return? And if that's the case, like this 6 of Swords is like, get out of there. Like go to the others, go somewhere else. Like connect to energy that sees your beauty and sees, you know, how helpful and loving you are, and how much you just are trying to, you know, justify like an amazing life for everybody. But they're just taking and not like giving you the justification of how beautiful your life is back. Go connect somewhere else, you know. And I think maybe you have to find that inner responsibility to do that. And there's a 35 here, so that makes an 8, which is like there is a responsibility to this reading. Like you have a duty to show up for yourself and not just give when you're not getting the payout back. What's Mercury say? The 4 of Wands, we've been getting that card all night. I think there is so much like good energy coming, and like literally like people are going to find like this party within themselves, and I think you are too, Libra. You just have to make sure that you're not giving too much. You have to make sure that, you know, I think you're channeling that opposite energy, which is the 5th house, and like making sure that you're taking care of yourself and in your heart, and, you know, in your own creative expression, and not just worrying about everybody else's creative expression, or that everybody else has everything. Like come back into your kingdom, you know, especially with Leo being, you know, the 11th house of Libra. Like you got to make sure that like the people around you are part of your kingdom and not just taking. And I think that that's where you could realize that there is a lot of passion and a lot of loving energy, is if the people around you are true friends and they're giving and receiving equally, and there is balance, because that's what Libra's really looking for, right? Is some balance. So if you're not getting that, don't take yourself out of a good time. And I think that the mind wants to celebrate and express the good things it can have, and the fun that it can have with people, and like the party. But you don't have to just uplift everybody. If other people don't want to have a good time, like, go find people that want to have a good time. What's up with Venus? The Devil. Gosh, we've been getting that card a lot too. So I don't know. I mean, you don't want to hold yourself back with material things, like having Venus and the Devil card here. The Devil's it is 666 and Venus is 6. So the Devil is like too much good stuff, which is 7-Eleven, right? Like, I don't know. You pay attention to what you're consuming right now, and make sure that it really is something that you need, and it's not just, some sort of escape. I think that that's important. And it's interesting when it comes to relationships too. Like, you don't want to be chained to relationships or even just groups of friends with people that are holding you back. So like, gosh, it almost seems like you're being held back from good things, even though emotionally you need to go to another place. And like right now, your friends are actually a big illumination of like what you're not receiving that you actually want to receive. And your mind's like all happy-go-lucky, like, oh, I'm going to get the good stuff eventually. I'm just going to keep going and being a nice, friendly Libra and giving everybody balance and harmony. You got to break free of that. Like, I think that that's part of a transformation too with this 8th house. 8th house new moon. You got to break out for, your true value in life, and make sure that like you are putting up boundaries that do make sense for your value. Mars. King of Cups. Interesting. So you got Mars in the 10th, which, I think that that's great for you right now, Libra. I think that, you're definitely like able to achieve and make things happen. And I think that you actually feel pretty confident within yourself right now, which is really solid. And I think that you're defining from that place. So, gosh, it's so interesting. Like, only a Libra, right, could like actually be happy and like confident and like feeling secure, but while also giving and not getting anything in return from the people in their life that they love. Libras are pretty special like that. Like, you gotta love Libras for how much they want to help and make things better and harmonious and beautiful, even if it comes at their own demise sometimes. What's Jupiter saying? Where's the abundance? The 3 of Cups, the ultimate like celebration, the ultimate party with friends, and it's reversed. Oh, Libra. This is where Libras are really, truly finding the right connections. Like, they're not going to put up with it anymore. I think Libras are so like strong within themselves right now, actually, with Mars in their 10th house and that King of Cups, that they're not going to get walked on by friends anymore, and they know there's something better, and they realize it, and they're ready to break chains. Like Libras aren't playing the games anymore. And I think that they know that that's where the gift truly lies, is with like true connection, not just, okay, I'll help you and give you this. No. 2 of Wands reversed for Saturn. Jeez. Like, talk about weighing out a choice, and it's like you just have to trust your heart and know that whatever your heart desires is actually going to guide you to the ultimate, and you have the whole world in your hands here. But you could hold yourself back if you don't make the choice that you know is going to give you the better connection, the better gift, the better relationships, the better friends. You're emotionally ready and feel very strong to move on to something better in life. Don't just sit there and contemplate taking the world into your own hands. Like, boss up and take the world into your own hands, Libra. And take the connections in your life into your own hands too. You don't deserve anything less than the best. Gosh, Moon Cancer again. This is an emotional readings out here. Moon Cancer, 7th house. I mean, yeah, when it comes to other people in your life, like, you have to have an emotional connection, and you have to emotionally define what you want to do with other people. And like, if you're not getting that emotional reciprocation or security or fulfillment back, like, you'll know it. So I think that you want, like, amazing connections with people and that emotional fulfillment, but it's not going to come through if you're not getting the payout or the emotional reciprocation of what you're trying to give. Libra. Interesting. How are we doing? We still got people in here? Still got 7 up in here. That's awesome. Su Yen, nice to see you. All right, where's the cup at? Kind of thirsty. Two more. Gemini. Gemini's got quite the 12th house transit going on right now. New moon in the 12th. But they're getting ready for eclipses in their 1st and 7th house. And I think, with Neptune in the 10th house, in sextile to this 12th house new moon, like, the ultimate spiritual connection is trusting in whatever needs to come to an end, trusting in the divine. Stop trying to control things. Stop trying to just analytically have things figured out. Like, Geminis just have to surrender to something better, something that they know is better, and give in and slow down to figure it out too. Wow. South Node, life's debts. All right, Gemini, I guess we're working through some baggage and some karma here. Let me switch this up. Gemini. This is going to be heavy. I can already feel it. Let's use this. All right. K2. The tail, the body of the dragon. You got the South Node in your 7th house right now. Like, Geminis are really, they need to be focusing on themselves and not so much what's going on outside them or the partnerships, I think. That's where the debts are. Let's see. Got the Ace of Pentacles for the illumination reversed, and the High Priestess coming out for the moon. That's been kind of a theme for these readings. All right, so what's up with these life debts? I mean, it looks like that with the Ace of Pentacles reversed here, like, there's clearly something new that's trying to come in, and I think that you're like blocking it by staying in old patterns. Like, you don't have to pay debts over and over and over again. Like, you can start over new, especially if you know things need to start over, or you know that something's reached its end point. Like, well, stop doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Like, you got to channel something new into your life, and it's a new opportunity. It's literally physical. And I know that you're in such an unseen, 12th house transit right now. You got a lot there, but you also have Gemini in your home sign, your 1st house, and you also have Venus there, and then the North Node. So yeah, new moon, but this is really starting to show like where the unseen energy is going to take you moving forward, and you don't want to keep playing the old story. And I think that you really need to trust your intuition, especially with the inner reflection and the moon being the high priestess and the 12th house transit. Like, honestly, it's your spiritual truth or bust right now. And it's like, that's going to take you to the highest of highs, especially with Neptune in your 10th sextile that new moon, and with Jupiter coming into your 10th house. Like, this is about what you can accomplish, and I think that you need to trust 100% that the universe is going to take you there, but you gotta start something new. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like, you gotta get out of some like a subconscious block too. There's like something blocking you or keeping you away from the destiny, and you definitely are, you feel it, you know it's there. What's stopping you? Is it your mind? Mercury? Queen of Swords? No, your mind fucking knows it too, Gemini. You have so much defined and figured out, like, you know, and maybe you need to be cold. Maybe it has to do with like you really like having some like cold energy and just like being like no, and communicating exactly how you feel, exactly what you know needs to change, exactly where you know things are going for yourself. Like Mercury in your first house, like you need to define, speak your truth. All of it, which is a total Gemini thing to do, in all honesty. But I think, you know, Geminis might be finding like which twin they really are, you know. So there's some of that energy too, and I think that maybe this is like a life debt of like really stepping into the good twin, like the light energy, especially with the North Node in your, you know, in the Pleiades with Archangel Michael and Aldebaran right now. Like, I think Geminis are really, like, actually stepping into their light game. And you know what? Sometimes when you step into your light, you have to get cold to cut off the dark. And maybe that's part of the light, you know, these life debts, too. Eight of Swords for Venus. Well, if you want the feel-good energy in life, whether it's through other people or through yourself, I think you got to take the blindfold off and take the rope off. Like, this card's always a trip because I feel like, you know, the rope always looks so loose. Like, you bind yourself in your own head, and it would be so easy to just change your mind to get out of that, especially for a solid relationship that isn't karmic or one that, you know, really gives you the stimulation that you're looking for, or even just trusting yourself in your own mind and not thinking you're crazy. Like, Geminis have such a fast mind, they can think they're crazy sometimes, especially with Neptune squaring their planets right now, and has been for since 2012. Like, so I think that Geminis are working through a lot of like understanding that, you know what, they're really not crazy. They've actually, you know, they just have to be true to their light, to their light twin right now. And if you express that, I think you find a lot of comfort in yourself, and you break out of a lot of things that might be holding you back. What's Mars saying? Five of Wands reversed. Well, you know, I guess it's not the time to fight people. Like, it's not the time to fight right now. I think it's the time to come back in within yourself. Come back to your heart. Maybe leave other people. You know, don't worry so much about what other people are doing. You know, that's what the lunar eclipse in your 7th house is for. You can deal with that then. But, you know, what are you trying to push forward for right now? And what are you trying to move out of? Like, you know, there's something that needs to change. So, you know, stop fighting things outside of yourself, and maybe, you know, have the courage to look within at what you need to let go of, and get your mind out of a place that feels like it can't escape from something that it so easily could if you just chose to start over for something. Like, your mind knows it with that Queen of Swords in the Mercury spot. Like, you're not dumb, Gemini, of course. Like, don't trick yourself. Don't be the trickster to yourself. Be the trickster to other people. And then Gemini, your ruling planet, is trine Saturn in your 5th house here. Like, in your 9th house, I'm sorry. Like, you can really make a lot of things happen for the journey right now, and for the wisdom. And there's like a duty to do that. Jupiter, King of Cups reversed. You know, the abundance is in your, you know, your emotional sovereignty and how you manifest and how you feel about yourself and the security within yourself. Like the King of Cups is extremely secure. He knows exactly how he's going to get what he wants, and he's passionate. And that's what you need to be right now. You need to be passionate for getting out of some sort of karmic trap. Like, be passionate for what's going to set you free. That's where the abundance is at, big time. And with Jupiter coming into your 10th house, like, there are big things coming for you. Like, there are, you know, you're going to make huge leaps and bounds, whether it's career or legacy, parenting. Like, this is a great time for you right now, Gemini. So, you know, time to switch something up and get out of some old cycle that's holding you back. Like, grab your sovereignty and really own it 100%. That's where the abundance is at. And Saturn, the moon. It's a beautiful moon card. It's super dope. You know, responsible for your intuition and the changes that need to be made. Like, don't shy away. Like, you actually finding that inner security and trusting your intuition and your subconscious is everything. And the High Priestess for your moon. Like, this is big time. Like, you know, change needs to take place. And it's like, just do it. Like, get out of some karmic pattern. Step into your light. Step into the other twin. Switch gears. Switch hats. Like, you're one of the best at it in the whole zodiac of changing. And, like, knowing that there's something better that you can switch up or take on. And it's like you almost forgot that you could do that right now. And I think that this is, like, the most important time for you to switch into that light and switch on that light 100% and illuminate in that. So that you can really step into your dharma and step out of your karma. Got Mars, Virgo, second house. Well, I think you need to purify your self-worth, you know, for one. Is like, really, what do you want to manifest? What do you want to have? Like, maybe you need to simplify it a little bit too. Like, you can't manifest if things are all dirty also. So maybe you need to clean up your reality a little bit and get out of some old patterns. But I think also, you know what, you have a lot of energy right now. Like, you're a well-oiled machine, Gemini. Like, you can conquer so much and get what you need. So, you know, that's not an issue. I think that you'll have all the stamina you need to get whatever changes done, to feel better and to take on this new energy. It's just like, are you ready to purify and step into that other twin? All right. Last one, and it's Leo. Oh, I'm in a mess. Last, but certainly not least, the Leos. Who's in here? I got 6 people. Loving the live tarot. Thank you. Thanks, Chandler. Appreciate you for joining. That deck was the Ethereal Visions Tarot. I'll show you since we're on the last of the show and you're in here. It's this guy. It's a beautiful deck. I definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorites. So, all right, Leos. What do we got for you? Leos are in an interesting spot. They got a new moon in their 10th, right? So, like, Leos are, like, taking on a lot right now. And it's got to be the best. And it's like they know they have to do something big for the future. And with Neptune in the 8th, sextile that energy, it's like a spiritual transformation to where like they're taking like the next level up into like the real deeper mission. And what that means. What does it mean? And then Jupiter coming into that 8th house too. It's a gosh, Pisces 8th house is wild too, because Leos have like crazy spiritual, and almost like their ego has to dissolve through their transformations to really come in and shine for the people. And maybe that's where they're at. Fire, desire. All right, Leo, you got the fire. It's pretty fitting. You know what? Jupiter coming into Pisces, your 8th house. Use the zombie deck. Haven't used it tonight. Wow. All right, Leos, what do you desire? I mean, this is a wild, like, 10th house transit, and then you're about to have eclipses in your 11th house here, so, and in your 5th house. What do you desire? Leo? What do you desire? Let's find out. 7 of Wands reversed is the illumination, and the 4 of Wands is the reflection. Gosh, that 4 of Wands been coming up nonstop. Well, it's interesting getting the 7 of Wands here. And then the desire is the overall. And it does, it's a 37. So that makes a 10, right? Which is very Leo energy, but also very grounded. So it's like you want to ground in your desires too. It is kind of Taurus as well as Leo energy, which is interesting too. Taurus 10th house, Taurus new moon. The 7 of Wands, it feels like gosh, like Leos just don't know what they desire 100% right now. And I think that's what I'm having a hard time getting that card channeled out. It's like what do Leos desire? They don't know right now. And it's such a destiny point, and they're like, are you feeling a little lost? Like, are you feeling a little taken out of your heart? Is Saturn in your opposite sign like taking your fire, cooling it down? I think the reflection here is pretty clear that you want the party in the kingdom, which solar eclipse in your 11th house, like that could be a kingdom in a party in the kingdom, if you will. Like that could be the ultimate party. So, where are you heading? Are you setting yourself up for your desires, or are you just unsure of where the ultimate, party in life is going to be, or where the ultimate fun is? You might have to get to the bottom of it. What's up with Mercury? Oh, the Judgment card. Well, I guess maybe that's why things are a little unsure in your illumination right now, or why you might feel like a little blocked. I think that it's a big judgment call so that you can have the best, and you really are stepping into what you desire. But like that call is big. Like it feels like you're getting bombs dropped on you for your truth. So what's up with those bombs? Like, do you not want to, like, are they bombs that you weren't expecting? Like, are they actually of the desire that you want? Like, I think that, you got to listen for that call when the universe, blows the trumpet for you like that and drops the bombs on you. Like, you got to pay attention. Like, it might not look like what you desire, but I think ultimately, like, it's going to give you a lot of inner, celebratory energy and a lot of excitement. What's up with Venus? Tower reversed. Oh, man. It's interesting. Venus being being relationship, could have to do with relationships. Like Leos could be in some interesting relationship aspects right now, and especially with Saturn in the 7th house. Like, are other people, is the collective taking you out of your true heart's desires? Do you feel like you have to you have to give too much when like you're getting big truth bombs from the universe that, you know, you need to make some sort of big change for the best in your life or for your own heart's desires. And maybe you're giving too much or worried too much about other people. Or maybe you're too worried about other people to really like put the work in on yourself. So you need to like tear something down so that you can, you know, build up the strong tower of love within yourself. It's Mars say. 6 of Coins reversed. Well, this is definitely saying that you can't be the charity case anymore. Like straight up, you have to take care of like your own lawn. How funny. This deck is so funny. The doctor's having his lawn mowed by the zombie. Look, don't let other people trick you into their desires because you're being some sort of like charity case and illuminating for everybody right now. Like, yes, Leos do need to illuminate for the people and like be that sort of king or queen energy, but you know, you got to focus on your own heart's desires right now too. I think that you're feeling a little lost, Leo. And, you know, if you're going to rebuild the structures and the towers for your greatest achievements in life, you have to know what you want and you can't just do it for everybody else. So I think this is a time where, you know, you stop, you know, giving everybody your charity and really come back in and define what your desires truly are from your heart so that you can have that passion and that fire to make it happen. Jupiter. 5 of Cups. Jeez. Like, are you feeling that sad right now, Leo? Do we need to have like a hug? Do we need to hug it out? I think that, you know, this is the abundant card. This is the good luck card. And, you know, you're not going to find any good luck crying about, you know, spilt milk in a lot of ways or nonsense. Like there's a zombie behind the tree is going to eat you if you just sit there and not pay attention and just cry your life away. Like, I think the abundance here is making sure that you really are defining for yourself and getting up. Like if you're feeling a little down, feeling a little like lost, like you need to get up and go put your energy into something. Like, and it can't just be for everybody else. I think you really have to do it for yourself. So the abundance would be in picking yourself up. If you're feeling a little down right now, we got to pick that up so that we can illuminate and find those desires and find what your heart truly wants. Saturn, 3 of Cups. Ooh, love that 3 of Cups. Love that 3 of Cups. Look how happy they are. God, he loves his zombie wife. This deck kills me. You know, with this being the Saturn card, it's like, are you just carrying dead weight for other people and not carrying, you know, your true weight? You know, think about that right now. Like, if you're just worried about everyone else's desires and you're just carrying literally a dead body in your arms, but you know, you love them. They were probably great when they were alive and when the passion and the, you know, the emotion was there, and now it's just it's just dead weight in your life when you're trying to go through some major transformation to build like the most amazing legacy possible for yourself right now and the most amazing connections. But you can't connect to dead energy that's taking you out of your heart and your fire. So I feel like Leos really have to like stop being a charity case and come back to what their true fire is. That's everything. And that's where the celebration's at. That's where like the judgment call's at. And you already know it. Like with Mercury getting the judgment call, like you understand that you're getting this call, but yet you still just want to carry a bunch of dead weight and not pay attention to your own needs. And it's like, you're going to get eaten alive if you're just going to not stand up and bring that passion and that excitement for what you truly want to define and what your true heart's desires are. North Node, Virgo, 7th house. Yeah, I guess, you know, you need to purify your relationships. Like there's you know, it is important that you deal with other people right now, but, you know, they have to be pure. And you have to analyze them and maybe be picky about the dead weight you're carrying. Like, be picky about the weight you're carrying around right now. You know? And if it's not purifying, is it really part of your destiny? Is it really part of your true desires to be with that energy or to partner with it moving forward? All right. That's everybody. Gosh, I wish I didn't have such a long overlap. I'd totally like stay and chat with you guys, but there's such a long delay. Even if I got in the chat here, like I just wouldn't really get to talk much. What up, Butch? Appreciate you joining. Aries and Leo both resonate for me. I know what you're saying about the sun. I agree, but rising and moon signs. Yeah, Lucy, I'll just say that too. Like, I definitely resonate with my moon sign. Like, I named my astrology company after my moon sign. I think it's all so important. I just, think that people they skip out on the sun sign these days that, and there's so much importance. Everything's important in astrology. And, I hate to see people skip out on such an important aspect, which is the sun. And that's why sun sign astrology became popular, is because it is a big deal. And sometimes popularity can make things, not cool anymore, phase out. And sometimes I think that's what happened with that. But, hey, if whatever resonates with you, like, I'm not here to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't believe. It all should resonate because it's all, a divine part of you, and it's all part of your cosmic blueprint here. All right, everybody. Well, I truly appreciate you for joining. I hope that you enjoyed the show. I have so much fun doing this, and I will be back for the full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius in a couple weeks. So I look forward to doing this show. Hopefully I can do it every other week for a while. It's a lot of fun. Enjoy it. I will timestamp all of these, so if you want to come back and check your reading again, it'll be nice and easy to do so. And much love to you all. Sending you all my love, all my best, all my appreciation. Make this world yours. Step into your confidence, step into your values, step into your truth, and just know that if it isn't of the divine right now, then it's not of the universe truth. It's an illusion, and that's the best advice I could give anybody right now. So if it doesn't have divine, don't pay too much attention to it, because we're in a time where the divine is everything, and that's just what it is. And we got to bring it into the physical. We got to anchor it. We can't just leave it in the ethereal. I love you all so much. Hope you have a blessed rest of your week. And up until that full moon, when I see you next time, peace. I do that, but I want to play the outro. I got to get better at this because one-man production crew. So, peace.